talk. Why don't we have a good dinner?
Hey, enjoy. Don't let me hold you back.
One thing. I heard that they're pushing Michelle's trial back a couple of weeks, and I just want to know if there's anything wrong.
Oh, no, not at all. It's just a scheduling thing. Ross is going to be out of town, so they want to push it back.
Ross is defending Michelle?
I take it you didn't know. Yeah, Ross is representing Michelle.
Michelle? Hey. Listen, if you guys need anything, just let the guard know, okay?
Frank, thanks a lot for my Christmas present. It really meant a lot to me.
Now, Michelle, whatever are you talking about?
How you doing? There's a lot of people pulling for you. See, I told you.
I keep pretending that it's Christmas Eve and we are still together. I really didn't want to come back here.
I think I wanted you to come back here. No way.
I'm thinking about you is the only thing keeping me going right now.
I'm going to get you out of here. I promise. That's what, hey, it's Ross, see? Ross is here. We're so glad to see you. It's going to be a whole new ballgame now, sweetheart. Ross is going to fix everything. It's all going to be okay.
Hey, Reva, how are you? Boy, that daughter of yours sure throws one mean New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
She's a very talented girl, my daughter. What's going on with you?
Well, I was kind of hoping you'd be here.
Well, it's your lucky night. Here I am.
You know, sometimes you do something because you care about someone, no matter how it looks to everyone else.
Yeah. Sometimes if you care about someone and you do something to help them, others might not get it, but, I mean, that's their problem, right? You can't make everybody happy. Why?
Because right now my sister's getting her heart broken. And everybody's going to say that it was my fault.
I was speaking with Reva, and she told me that you were in love with me. Is that true? Is that what you told her?
Yes. I told her I loved you.
I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm really very sorry. This is entirely my fault. I've put you in an impossible situation. I should have realized.
Wait, let me finish. I didn't say I loved you. I said that's what I told Reva. Richard, I would have told her anything to get her to leave us alone. I should have known that she would do this. I'm sorry. I am so sorry about this.
She did what any, caring sister would have done.
Look, I understand our arrangement, okay? And I know that love isn't a part of it. I know that.
Right, because, if that were the case, if either one of us were in love with the other, it'd cause a great deal of pain. I don't want that for you.
I don't love you. Problem solved, all right? And you of all people would know if someone loved you or not. So into the discussion. We can go back to how everything was before Reva decided to stick her nose in. What?
You just seem a bit anxious, that's all.
I'm not anxious. This isn't anxiety, okay? I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because Reva won't leave us alone. And you don't seem to believe me.
No, it's not that. It's just I'm concerned, Cassie. I'm concerned for both of us. This is a contractual marriage we're entering into. We'll have responsibilities, obligations, duties.
And love isn't a part of the deal. I know that, okay? I can't believe this. Ross is Michelle's lawyer.
Drew, look, I'm sorry if I started anything.
You did not start anything, David. I asked you a question, and you answered me. I'm just finding this really hard to understand, that's all.
Are you sure about this? Because the last I heard, they were trying to hire this big gun, Grant something Martin. right? This sounds like a mistake.
Oh, come on, guys. Look, I've had about 4 hours of sleep a night since this case opened. I just came over here to grab a bite to eat. That's it. I don't want to be in the middle of this.
Do you know this for a fact?
Yes, it's a fact, okay? Michelle fired her lawyer and hired Ross.
I can't believe this.
Joe, look, Michelle has the right to hire anyone she wants.
Yes, but Ross doesn't have to say yes. I mean, what is he thinking?
That she's innocent? I mean, why else would he do this, Drew?
I have to talk to Ross.
Good, I'm going.
No, I need to go alone. Okay, I have to find out what's in it for him. Ross, I know this is probably hard for you. Thank you.
Haven't done anything yet. Hey, you're here, and that gives us a lot more confidence than we had yesterday, right?
Now, I told you before, I can't promise you a thing.
Ross, Ben and I didn't really get along, but I just need you to know that I didn't do this.
Yes, I know that, Michelle. That's why I'm here. Now, we should get started because Blake and I are flying to Philadelphia tonight. I'm going to start some preliminary work on a case.
Oh, I heard about your new daughter. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now, I need you to take me minute by minute through the evening that Ben was murdered.
Okay. Danny and I spent most of the evening together, and we ended up back home in my room.
And what time was that?
6:37.
7.
Okay.
We
Yes.
made love, and we stayed in bed for about an hour or so.
And then what?
She fell asleep. We both fell asleep, and later on, we woke up. Michelle wanted to go to that party that Drew was having because they had that fight about Ben. And well, you were there. You saw that. And by the time we got to the towers, the murder had already happened.
What's the matter, Michelle? Come on, what is going on here? Michelle, you have to tell me everything. If there are any surprises in the courtroom, this jail might become your permanent home. Now, is that what happened that evening or not?
No. It's not. I got hungry, and I went out for some ice cream.
By yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
What time was that?
It was around 7:30.
Are you sure of the time?
Yes, because I knew the ice cream store closed at 8:30.
But at 7:30, you decide to go out and get some ice cream. Did you drive there?
Yes, I did. But when I got there, for some reason, they closed early. So I just drove around. I ended up at my mother's grave.
So that means at the precise minute that Ben was murdered, you weren't with Danny. You were all by yourself.
Yep. I was alone.
$1 if you sing one for the road.
Sorry, I seem to have left my piano in my other jacket. So what are you doing here, huh? Checking out the competition, is that it?
We share the same booze distributor. I thought I'd catch him.
You know,
Place a couple orders.
You are a dying breed,
Yeah?
Buzz. A restaurateur who's hands-on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how you and Reva doing?
Am I that transparent?
Well, for what it's worth, and it usually ain't too much, you two will work it out. You always do.
Yeah.
I'll have what he's having. She's crazy mad in love with you, you know.
Reva.
Well, who are we talking about? I mean, she'd do anything for you. For crying out loud, she married me so that you could move on with your life.
Buzz,
Yeah?
I wasn't thinking about Reva.
Make that a double.
You know, Reva, I really think you're being too hard on yourself. I mean, if you think you're doing the right thing, you should just go ahead and do it and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, what happened exactly?
Cassie told me something in confidence. She told me that she was in love with Richard.
Ah. So she told you a secret?
Mm-hmm.
And you told someone else besides me this secret?
Yeah.
You told Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, you're in trouble, all right.
Well, now wait a second.
That was a lousy thing to do.
Now wait a minute. Do you have a sister?
No, I don't.
Well, I care a great deal for Cassie. I do, and she's had a tough life. Not that either one of us have had it any easier, but I worry about her, and I worry that she's going to get hurt. And I am her big sister, and if I don't keep an eye out for her, who's going to do that? Now, everyone else around here thinks that I'm doing this because I'm jealous of her and Richard. But the truth is, and I'd swear this on a stack of Bibles, if I believed for 1 second that Richard loved Cassie, I would step aside.
Yeah, but isn't this Cassie's mistake to make?
You see a child grabbing for a pot of boiling water? Do you let the child grab that pot to teach him a lesson, or do you scream out and try to stop it from happening? I've always been a screamer.
Well, I've been a screamer, too. But let me ask you a question. Cassie's a big girl, right? She's not a child. So why don't you just sit her down and tell her what you, her big sister, think she's in for, and let her decide? Because you can't live somebody else's life for them.
Even if you're responsible for everything that's happening? You see, Cassie met Richard because of me, and he proposed to her to get even with me. And I know that I hurt him very badly, but he's just using Cassie. And she's going to get hurt, and I put her in the middle of this mess, and I intend to get her out of it.
Uh-huh. So, the fact that Cassie's marrying a man that you used to be married to isn't what's bothering you at all here, huh?
No.
You know what, Reva? I don't believe you.
You know, I can't believe we're having this conversation, and I can't believe Reva would try and mess everything. How could she do this? You know, how could she do this?
Cassie.
What?
I'd really like it if we just sit down and talk about it.
We are talking about this.
Please. This is important business we're talking about.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm surprised that you wouldn't know if someone was in love with you or not.
Well, why would you be so surprised?
Because you're royalty. I mean, isn't this what you're trained to do, to be able to read people, to figure out your next move?
Oh, perhaps in a business deal or something like that, but this is something a bit more complicated. And I don't have extrasensory perception or anything. Especially when it comes to women. I need to know, Cassie, I need to know exactly how you feel about me.
I told you. I don't love you. I mean, come on. What more would a man want from his fiancée, right?
I'm sorry. I have put us in a very awkward position, haven't I?
Richard, I know why you asked me to marry you, okay? I'm keeping up my end of the bargain.
Right. It's just that the more I get to know you, Cassie, the more time I spend with you, well, you're an incredible woman, and you have wonderful, beautiful children. The last thing I would ever want is to hurt you. I don't think I've given you any indication that I've loved you, have I? Because I was hoping, that I wasn't giving you the wrong impression.
No, you haven't. No, I know that you don't love me. And I know that if I loved you, I would be setting myself up for a lifetime of misery. I know that.
I couldn't bear that. I wouldn't want that for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for caring so much about my feelings, but the truth is, I've never loved you, Richard. I haven't, and I don't love you now. I've only really been in love once, and that was Hart. And, you know, when he died, I guess I just shut down. Just like you.
Right. So, what you told Reva...
It was a lie. A lie, because, you know, I wanted her to go on with her life. I do like you. I do, and I want to be a great princess for you, and I want my children to be happy, and I want them to be secure. That's all. That's all.
Is that enough?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because I have a confession to make. I don't know if I could ever make you happy.
You already have.
We have to lie.
What do you mean?
What else? We don't have any other
don't have-
options.
She's being framed.
The district attorney is a very smart woman, all right? She would expose this lie, and whatever credibility you had would be gone.
So we have nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. This may sound trite, but you have the truth.
Come on. I mean, you of all people have got to know how many people every day are sent to prison because of mistaken identities, false witnesses, trumped-up charges, and just mistakes. The only people who win this game are the people who know how to play it, and we were dealt a lousy hand. What are we supposed
Danny,
to do?
the ace that you're holding is Michelle didn't do it. And now I'm defending her. You didn't expect that to happen, did you? So now, you have the truth, but you got me. Now that you feel better, did you see anybody when you went to this ice cream shop or to the cemetery?
Nope, not at all.
That's okay. Maybe somebody saw you. When we find this person, they can corroborate your story.
I've been looking all over town, and so far, no one.
So far, yeah, but there's got to be someone, Danny.
All right, I'll keep looking.
So will I. And both of you are going to tell me the absolute truth from now on. Do you understand? You keep your spirits up. I'll be in touch.
Russ.
Thank you.
Sorry. I had to tell him.
Danny, you gotta go. And I got orders to transfer you.
Excuse me?
What?
It's not in my hands right now. It's a court's decision. I'm
Don't tell
sorry.
us this,
Where am I
Frank.
going?
You're going to county jail.
What?
Look, I wish I could do something,
Come on.
Michelle.
We gotta do. There's gotta be something you can do. You can't send her over there.
Danny, I'm sorry.
No, Danny. Abby said this is the worst thing that ever happened to her. I can't handle this. I can't.
Blake, I know that. Well, Michelle is hanging in there, but this is going to be very, very tough. No, I can't come home till I talk to Drew. Because she's going to be upset when she finds out that I'm representing Michelle. I want to explain why I'm doing it.
That's exactly what you need to do, Ross.
I've got to go. Drew,
I'm waiting.
I know what you're feeling.
Do you? No, I don't think that you do, Ross. You are defending the woman who killed your own brother. Why?
Because I don't believe she killed Ben.
You were there. Ross, you were there when I found his body. You held me when I cried. You are my uncle. You are his blood brother, Ross, and what you and everyone else is doing, it's wrong.
If I thought there was any chance that Michelle had done this, I would not be here. She is falsely accused, she's hurting, and she needs me.
And what about my hurt? Ross, what about me? Huh? Don't you think that it's killing me that you are here talking to this murderer?
Drew, I care about how you feel, okay? This was not an easy decision on my part.
We are blood. Ross, you, me, and Ben, we're blood. At his funeral, when I couldn't speak, who did I ask to stand up and speak for me? You. And you did. You spoke for me.
Yes, I did, because I wanted to help you.
Well, do you want to help me now?
Of course I do.
Then turn your back. If you don't want to hurt me, then walk away. Walk away from her and never, ever look back.
See why Entertainment Weekly calls The King of Queens one of the best shows on TV.
Will you borrow the iron? If you want a grilled cheese sandwich, I will make you one.
On a special night, CBS Wednesday.
There's a place where the weak find strength.
Are you prepared to stay straight and care for your kids?
The hopeless find mercy.
If I hadn't gotten that woman into surgery when I did, she'd be dead. She'd be dead if I was 30 seconds further away.
And miracles happen every day.
Maybe together we can make this a proud place again.
City of Angels, special premiere, CBS, Sunday, January 16th.
Olivia Spencer.
What did you say?
Olivia Spencer. She's a tenant at my boarding house.
Why did you bring her up?
I don't know. I just thought I'd throw the name out. Olivia Spencer. It works for you now, right?
She used to work for me, yeah.
She quit?
Yes.
So that's why the long face, the drink, because your employee quit?
I don't have anything going on with her, if that's what you're thinking.
Oh, it's your life.
Yes, it is my life.
A little soon. I mean, after, you split up with Reva.
She's an employee of mine, okay? I was counting on her. I was dependent on her. She let me down. She let down Matt. She let down Billy, and that's what this thing is about.
I didn't know she was so involved with your company.
Yeah, well, she was. She had some connections, so we had this meeting set up for this big government contract, and she blew it. She didn't show up. So the contract went south.
Oh. Okay, so I get it. So it doesn't have to do with women, really, at all. It's you have a long face, you're staring off into space, you got the drink, and it's about a contract.
You know, the horns on your head are starting to stick out there just a little bit, pal.
All I'm saying.
All you're saying is
all I'm
what
saying
exactly?
Is that Olivia seems to be more than an employee. Have the horns gone back down yet?
Next time I decide to track you down, do me a favor.
Name it.
Leave your pitchfork at home.
Reva, I mean, I guess you're talking to me because you want somebody to tell you like it is, right? And that's what I do best. I am not good at mincing words.
Okay.
Sorry.
I do have feelings for Richard, and maybe a part of me is a little jealous, but not enough to ruin my sister's life. I would never do that, no matter how I felt.
Well, keep talking. You haven't convinced me yet.
When I first disappeared from Richard's life all those years ago, he started seeing a woman named Olivia Spencer. She was his assistant, and she was desperately in love with him. Eventually, he asked her to marry him. Did she think that he loved her back? Maybe. But the minute I showed back up in San Cristobal, their wedding became nothing more than a canceled meeting in his royal appointment book. And every feeling that she thought he had, feeling that he may have had, was thrown away so that he could come after me. And she was crushed by that. He crushed her. And I don't think she's ever fully going to get over what he did.
All right, well, wait a minute. Why is Richard back in Springfield now?
Because I asked him to come. Because neither one of us can move on with our lives until we deal with this. And I don't want this to happen to Cassie. I want him to call off the wedding.
All right, I'll put my pitchfork down. I think your heart's in the right place. I do.
Thank you.
I don't think Cassie's going to be quite as understanding. You know, I mean, you're essentially canceling the royal wedding of her dreams to her Prince Charming.
Talk to her.
Well, I think you're probably the last person she wants to see right now.
Yeah, well, so what's another slam door in my face anyway?
Well, hey, you're a survivor.
Yeah, well, I guess you are too, huh?
Yeah. Listen, you just need to remember that you're doing this because you love her, no matter how ugly it gets, okay? And that's never wrong.
Well, that's the one thing that I am sure of right now.
Good luck, girlfriend.
Thanks.
I've already made you happy. I've completely uprooted your family. I've virtually destroyed your relationship with your sister. I've proposed marriage to you, not in the name of love, but for the sake of a deal, and I've made you happy.
You really don't know me at all, do you? Do you know what it's like to not make a difference? I mean, you command something and it becomes law. You affect people's lives, for the better or for the worse, but still you make a difference. You do. I was abused by my father, by my foster father as a child. I was. Then I went from one family to another after that. And when I was 18, I met a guy, got married, and I had a little girl. And I didn't go to college. I went to work at a fast food restaurant so I could support her. And then came the worst day of my life. She was taken away from me. And it killed me. So I had to hire a lawyer that I couldn't afford to get her back. And because I couldn't afford him, I had to go work in a strip club to pay him. So I wasn't living, Richard, I was surviving. And then I met Hart and I thought, wow, you know, for the first time in my life, everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be right. And then he was taken away from me. Forever. And then I met you. And you're giving me a chance to make a difference. For the first time in my life, I get to make a difference. And I have all these ideas for that children's museum for your country, and that's just the beginning. And I know that ours isn't this fairy tale kind of love, but we can do so much together. You know, we're gonna have a family together. We're gonna have a child together. Yes. Your heir. My son's gonna be a prince, and he's gonna rule an entire country. I mean, you and me, we can make a difference. And that's why you've made me happy. And that's why I want to be your wife.
What is your problem, man? Huh?
Hey, look, I'm sorry the way this went down with Drew, man.
Look, you should be out looking for the real person that killed Ben Warren, and this kind of be happening.
Look, I really don't want to get into this with you, okay? I said I'm sorry, and I am.
Well, I do, okay? Because Drew was doing just fine up until you had to open your big fat mouth.
Yo, you know what? First of all, do me a favor, okay, and get out of my face. Second of all, Ross defending Michelle is public knowledge, okay? Am I sorry the way that it turned out? Yes, I am. End of discussion. I came in here to grab a bite to eat. Get off my back.
So what makes you so sure, huh? No other alternatives, no other possibilities?
All right, you want to talk about this, right? I happen to agree wholeheartedly with Drew. Michelle is guilty, and the evidence will prove that out.
You know, you and Michelle were friends many years, right? Your families even used to spend your holidays together. How could you turn your back on her like this?
You mean, how can I turn my back on Michelle Santos? Easily. All I have to do is think about the many lives that the Santos family has destroyed, okay? And if we finally got one of them behind bars, believe me, I sleep well at night.
Oh, with your blinders on, right? Michelle's not a Santos. She married into that family, and you know...
Yo, you're the one with blinders on. Michelle is part of a crime family now. You think somebody put her in jail for nothing? They found blood-stained gloves in her room, remember?
Set?
Yeah, so you say. I don't see it that way, but of course I'm not as personally involved as you.
Meaning what?
Meaning you used to see the woman, right? Yeah, Michelle was your main squeeze until Drew came along, so I can see how this can be complicated for you.
You are a laugh.
Yo, you know what? You want a piece from me? We can take it outside, but let me tell you something right now. You're not gonna change my mind.
What if you're wrong? It's a possibility, right? I mean, you weren't there that night, so you absolutely can't be positively sure, right? So while you enjoy your steak, think of Michelle rotting in jail for something that she didn't do. Enjoy your meal.
Why are you doing this? Are you trying to get back at Ben for the things that he's done to you? Well, you're gonna do it, Ross, and I hope you're happy.
Drew. Ben and I didn't get along. Never did. But that is irrelevant because someone murdered him and that shouldn't happen to anybody.
Not someone, Ross. Michelle.
She did not do it.
How can you say that?
Because I have tried murder cases before, dozens of them, as district attorney and as a criminal lawyer. And let me tell you something. There is something about Michelle's case that doesn't feel right.
Oh, so you're going on a hunch?
It is too neat. It's too pat. All right? Now, those gloves with Ben's blood on them, they weren't found on the floor. They weren't found outside his apartment. They weren't found in the garbage. They were found neatly tucked into Michelle's bureau drawer with no sign of anybody trying to clean them. You see, it is just too obvious. It is too dumb. She would have taken the time to clean them or at least get rid of them.
Sometimes they say in the heat of the moment, people make stupid mistakes.
And then this witness shows up, and just as quickly, the witness disappears.
She's married to a Santos, right? I mean, making people disappear is in the family business.
Michelle was set up. I would not be defending the woman accused of murdering your father if I thought otherwise.
Danny.
Okay. Look, there's no way I'm gonna let them move you to county jail. Frank, how soon is she supposed to be transferred?
Tomorrow.
Okay, that gives us a day.
I've been in here for weeks
Michelle,
and nothing's happened.
okay.
What are you going to do in a day?
I'm gonna go get Ross and we're gonna get you out on bail.
Bail has already been denied, Danny.
Because you didn't have an alibi. I'm gonna go find one for you. Somebody had to see you and I'm gonna find
By tomorrow.
Michelle, I'm not gonna let them take you to county jail. I'll be right back. Frank, there's gotta be something you can do, man, to hold this off. Just like another day.
You know how I feel about this.
Anything. She cannot go to county jail.
Look, I'm doing everything I can. She was supposed to be transferred today, and I got to push back till tomorrow, all right?
Frank,
I've got some work to do.
Danny Santos?
Who's asking?
I own the ice cream shop over on Morgan.
Oh, my God, where have you been? I've been leaving like 10 messages a day for you.
Well, I've been on vacation. I can't believe it. I come back to find out Michelle Bauer is in jail. I've known her since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
Is it true she killed someone?
No, of course she didn't. That's not true at all.
She's under arrest,
well,
though,
that's why I've been trying to contact you. Now, listen, the night of the murder, Michelle came by your store. Please, you've got to help her. Tell me that you saw Michelle that night. Please, tell me.
I love Cassie, and that's why I'm doing this. I know you're going to blame me for everything, sis. For interfering. But I know someday, too, that you're going to thank me for telling Richard the truth, because I know that someday you're going to meet some guy who's going to love you just as much as Hart loved you. And you're not just going to settle for some arrangement because you don't deserve that. I know it's hard to listen to a big sister. Lord knows Rusty and Roxy never wanted to do it. But eventually they realized that maybe I did know what I was talking about. I know that we haven't known each other all that long. And we've been through so much together. So you have to know that I only want what's best for you, Cassie. And I need you on my side more now than ever, and I can't imagine having to go through this without you. Bringing you and Tammy into our family was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And no matter what happens, nothing is ever going to come between us. Not even a prince. Especially a prince. Because you're my sister. I miss you, sis. I'm gonna help you get through this. I'm gonna make it all right. I promise.
All right, this is the number where I'm going to be in Philadelphia. Now, for any reason, you can call me. Drew, you're my niece. I'd never do anything to hurt you. And that means I would not defend Michelle if I thought she'd done it.
I don't know what to think anymore, Ross.
All right, you take care of yourself, okay?
Ross, I trust you.
Somehow, Drew, this is going to be all right.
You know he wouldn't be doing this for Michelle if he didn't believe she didn't do it.
I know. But if she didn't do it, then who did?
You know, Michelle was at my shop that night?
Yeah.
That's right, but you were closed early. Do you remember maybe seeing her when you were locking up?
Well, I was leaving early because I was going on vacation. You have to leave early, you know, planes.
No, I understand. But did you see Michelle?
I heard someone knocking just after I closed.
Yeah, that was Michelle.
Yeah, but I never looked to see who it was. I was busy, you know, getting ready for my vacation. I'm sorry. What?
Maybe you did see Michelle.
No, I just told you I didn't look.
No. I mean, maybe you did.
Are you saying that I should lie?
Come on, you said that you knew Michelle ever since she was a little girl, right?
I know, but I didn't see her.
Len, my wife is being set up. If she's convicted for murder, she could go to prison for the rest of her life. Do you know there's a death penalty in this state, don't you?
If I lie, I'm committing a crime myself.
You wouldn't be lying. You wouldn't. You'd be saving a life. You would be freeing an innocent person. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to push you. Okay. Will you think about it? Please. Just think about it. I told you I'd do something. I'm on it. I'm working on it. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm working on taking care of all of this.
If you're interested in Olivia, I mean, it's your right. What does it matter to me?
You know, for something that doesn't matter to you, you're making me feel very guilty.
Well, that's what we demons do. We bring out your hidden fears.
Okay. If I was interested in Olivia before, I'm not. Now, that's done. It's over. Now, Reva has put me through so much. I'm thinking the last thing I need in my life is another complicated woman, so I'm swearing off women altogether. I'm becoming a monk.
Well, then you'd have to take a vow of silence.
I can do that.
You're a Lewis. They'd kick you out. I can't figure out one. I'm so glad I stopped trying. But I have a woman at my house right now that I'm crazy about. And I never thought I'd fall in love again after Jenna. But I was wrong.
So what are you saying? That maybe one day I could have that again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Reva were really out of your life.
We came back here so we could settle things with Reva, and you know, I think we've done that. So, I want to go back. I want to go back to San Cristobal.
All right. We'll leave first thing in the morning. After all, we have a country to rebuild, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take care of all the arrangements. I'll take care of everything.
Of course you will.
Good night, Cassie.
Good night. What'd you forget?